Hello, fellow feral mommies. Just popping in here real quick to tell you to stay tuned for an exciting giveaway that we're going to talk about during this episode.
You're listening to the Here for the Clout podcast. Here are your hosts, Sherilyn Dale and Cece Suarez. Yeah, baby.
Welcome back, Clout Kings, Queens, and In-Betweens. You're listening to Here for the Clout. I am Sherilyn Dale, and this is my co-host, Chelsea Suarez.
I didn't paint my hand.
I know, I had gloves.
Oh, you do have gloves?
I know, I had gloves, and I forgot them on my counter. But you know what? It's fine.
We're interjecting to make a very important announcement, and that is to thank our first sponsor on the podcast.
This is one of our faves and longtime supporters on both of our separate channels, Bellesa.
If you've heard of Bellesa before, they are a by women company whose mission is to empower everyone to embrace, explore, and celebrate their desires.
And they have something for literally everybody's needs. My personal favorite is the Pebble. It's got the suction and vibration control independently. It's also ergonomically built to fit perfectly in your hand with no annoying pattern modes.
Who uses pattern modes? Get it together. Their products come with the most discreet casing. They're waterproof and rechargeable.
And when they say discreet, I mean discreet. My favorite story to tell is that one time I had them out in their cases and Brent, my husband, asked me if those were new earbuds.
Oh my gosh.
Adorable.
Stop. We had the same thing happen. When we were moving stuff out of the office, I have like literally boxes of them just in my office closet. And,
I love that.
And one of our friends got the case and he was like moving it because it fell. And he was like, oh, here, are these your headphones? And I was like, mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're like, yes, they are.
Yes, these are my headphones. That's probably going to vibrate. Don't worry.
The Air Vibe is also a fan favorite with dual simulation, and it is referred to as silent but deadly.
If you want to check them out, they're sending free toys or gift cards for free toys to everyone who signs up to the giveaway through our link in the description box and show notes.
Thank you again so much to Bellesa for being our first sponsor. You will forever hold a special place in our hearts and nightstands.
Listen, I have a white acrylic paint on my eyebrows.
And the fact that we're here, able to film with everything that Chelsea's been through is, you know what? I'm excited that we were even able to continue committing to the costumes and film. So
yeah, girl, you ain't gotta.
I think it's good.
You ain't gotta pull my leg to get me to dance with you. You know,
to get me to dance. How are you doing? Let's get everybody up to speed.
We are okay. I would thank you for asking. You're so kind. We were displaced for about a week. We didn't have any power. The power went off like right away. There were lots of real strong winds. Somehow, once again, the storm turned at the last minute, which is crazy, absolutely crazy. It didn't hit as a 5. I believe it hit as a 4 and then weakened to a 3. But it was... Girl, it was absolutely terrifying. It was so crazy. We didn't have any flooding, which is so strange, but we didn't have any flooding right here. We did for Helene, not this past hurricane though.
Yeah.
So areas in South Tampa that are flood zones, like we are required to have flood insurance, or we can't buy a house with a mortgage. You can buy it straight cash though. So the people who aren't required to have flood insurance weren't required to evacuate. They all are under like 4 feet of water. Like it's fucking crazy. So Tony's had to work like 12-hour shifts again, which he hasn't done in so long. Like he's off the road. Like he's doing a desk job now. Like he's in charge of charities. He's safe.
Yeah.
So he had to go, and he had to work the entire hurricane too. So it was me, Wiggum, and the baby at my mom's house. And then when Tony finally got cut loose for the basically the SWAT team that he's on, in conjunction with his office job, he went out and they went in their little they're called sherps, but it's like a water tank basically is what I call it. And they went and saved people and rescued them from assisted living facilities and from all these other places. And it was so scary. Like there's so many homes and just so many people displaced, people, you know, not alive anymore, like people who have lost everything, and it's just a lot. I mean, it's very
Yeah.
it's very overwhelming, and a lot of people have been saying, like, even in the Tampa subreddit, like they're like, I just feel like I have PTSD. Like I feel like I have so much anxiety. Like what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And a lot of people have, you know, agreed with that and like even written articles about it and stuff. So it's a lot. I am doing a Amazon registry where you can donate and like buy stuff off of it, and then it's being sent to my PO box, which pretty sure there's over almost 100 things bought off there so far, which is awesome. There's diapers,
Amazing.
wipes, a bunch of batteries, a bunch of battery powered fans. That's important, especially when you have babies. Baby food, non-perishable food. Like there's so much stuff that we have on that list. And if y'all can think of anything else, definitely leave it in the comments below, please, if you want to, you know, have me add stuff to it. That's not an Amazon affiliate list, so I'm not making any money off of that. I personally think that that's unethical, personally, especially if you don't disclose it. If you do disclose it, fine, then it's just distasteful. But we're doing that, and then I'm gonna go pick up a bunch of them tomorrow. I'm gonna go get a bunch of bins, and me and another influencer that I've been working with a little bit, Kelsey Duncan. She's amazing. She has been helping out in St. Pete so much. She's awesome. So she's gonna handle St. Pete. I'm gonna, you know, give her a bunch of stuff, and then Tony's gonna handle a bunch of areas that I don't want to drive to. So he's gonna handle by like his office and stuff, because his office and like where he works is more out in like that area over there. And then, you know, I'm over here and I'll do like Tampa. But even over here, there's so many people who from Hurricane Helene have lost so much. Like
exactly, because you guys were back to back.
Yeah, girl, my sister's street, I'm pretty sure I said it in our group chat, but then also I think I sent you a video, multiple videos probably, but my sister is the only person living on her street right now. Everyone else had to move out because like their houses from like the 1960s, 1970s, and they're lower, and like my sister's house is higher up, thank God, because it's a new construction. But it's just wild. Like it's so like ominous and like, oh, it's awful, and I hate it so much. So we're gonna go and deliver these little hurricane, not little, I mean they're gonna be like big bins, but hurricane relief items. And then I think also I'm going to talk to the people at I think it's either Feeding America or Feeding Tampa Bay, something like that. I always mess up the name of it, but I'm gonna go to where they're set up and give them a bunch of stuff too.
I love it. I did an episode while you were gone, like on my channel, just like freaking out and just, you know, trying to process everything. And I kept messaging Chelsea, and I was like, I feel so helpless.
Yeah.
Like, not only like, do we not live together, but we live in separate countries. So yeah, it's a helpless feeling. But we've had so many people ask if Chelsea's okay, how you can help Chelsea specifically. There was one comment, I don't know if we pinned it. I wanted to. If I haven't, I will. Back on our last video, and just asking specifically about Chelsea, and she just acknowledged this in her most recent video. She's like, at this point, like, we're okay. She wants to put the baskets together and everything. But I did see a comment that I absolutely love, saying like, if we can't help like monetarily, can we keep rewatching her stuff and sharing it? And I'm like, yes, like, comment, watch it 10 times over, like all of her content on her page, like just spread the word, do what you can, and that significantly helps. It's a great way to help just by not donating financially. It's just a really good support. So
yeah, I definitely appreciate that so much. I have so many people who have said that, and you know, we're very thankful that, you know, Tony's able to work more, I'm able to, you know, work more and make more money to, you know, pay for all the damage that we had and, you know, fixing everything, thank God. And we're very fortunate, very, very fortunate with the extent of flood damage that we had. I mean, there's so many of our friends, girl, our street, like so many people have had to move out and, you know, be displaced. So many people in our neighborhood. I mean, it's wild, because like you can't live there while you have all this damage and, you know, mold remediation and all this stuff. Like, especially if you have little kids, you can't do that.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
I'm glad. It sucks because it's like, you're so glad everybody, you know, like you are okay. The people that you know and love that you're worried about is okay. But anyways, our thoughts and prayers and support are, you know, to everybody who needs it right now. And this is how we are going to help. So we'll have the link to your Amazon and you'll keep everybody updated. We'll keep everybody updated. And in terms of Chelsea, our girl's going to be okay. We're getting a nice girls reset, a very much needed reset for Chelsea next week. So we'll be together.
This is a very professional business trip. I don't know what you're talking about. This is work.
This is very professional.
Whenever anyone asks me, like my sister was like, "Oh, can you, you know, do XYZ like next week?" And I was like, "No, I'm gonna be in Atlanta." And she's like, "For what?" And I was like, "For work." And Tony goes, "Ha." And I was like, "No."
I've been on the same.
I was like, "It is
My
work."
mom's like, "Where?" And I was like, "Well, it is work. We get to like scoop in a little bit of fun while we're doing it."
This is
why you work with the people that you love, because we make a living hanging out together and doing fun things.
Yeah, I agree.
If we can do it, you can do it. Okay, speaking of friends, I think we weren't going to talk about this. It was just not really something that I think either of us were interested in talking about for a subject.
Wait, which one? Okay, you said we were going to start with this one. I love how she starts out and says, "Listen, we didn't want to talk about this. We weren't going to. Bitch, we've been talking about it for the past 3 days. And then also, I posted a video about it today."
I know, but initially we weren't going to.
Yeah, that's true.
Like it wasn't in the queue for the for the next like couple topics.
Yes, okay. I know. Okay, sorry. I apologize. I know what you mean now. You mean like the actual like first thing.
Yeah,
the actual like what she had done, and then we weren't going to talk about it until she done fucked up.
No. Yes, that is on the same page now. Here, we strayed away for a minute. Now we're back. Yeah. Okay. So we're talking about Rugtok lady. Heavy emphasis on the lady. We weren't going to talk about it because it didn't really. Yeah, it just wasn't on our radar. We didn't really care. We were like, hey, whatever. Like, felt like it was just kind of like getting dragged out. And then me specifically, I have a huge issue with the way people are so desensitized and just like kind of like glorify and just willy-nilly true crime. So we were not going to talk about it. And if we were going to mention it, it was just pretty much that. Like, this is what you don't do. and then our good friends, Jesse and Lily, they covered it. Their episode, I thought it was amazing. Like that, it's just classic Jesse and Lily. The banter between those two is what everybody loves about them. Mm-hmm. Like, it's what makes their podcast so successful. It's the little inside jokes that everybody knows are jokes. Mm-hmm. Like, let's make that really clear.
Well, not everybody.
Apparently not everybody.
Not everybody.
So they talked about it. And you know what? I felt like there's been things that they've talked about and gone like a lot harder, where somebody could have like said something, I could have been like, yeah, my feelings might have been a little bit hurt. This wasn't even close to that. Like, I even had text messaged in our group chat being like, hey, this is hilarious. Like, I'm dying right now, specifically at the point that has really upset Katie. Mm-hmm. So quick synopsis. If you don't know, Rug lady on TikTok found a rug while she was trying to do some renovations at her house, put in a new fence. They're digging up the ground. She finds a rug. This whole thing starts. She's like, oh my God, what's in the rug? Everybody's like, dig up the rug. Cops come. Well, it was supposed to be cadaver dogs. We don't know now. I've learned a little bit about like the dogs and which specific ones came, and people have questions. Anyways, it was a whole thing. Anyways, there was nothing in the rug. The way she's going on live as they're digging in her yard. It's like, what were you going to do if you dug up somebody's loved one that's been missing and murdered or whatever? You know, like, she's just sitting there on live, smile painted on her face, like so excited and everything. But so Jesse and Lily had brought up the fact that everybody is still kind of set on, why did the cadaver dogs or tracker dogs, because we don't think it's cadaver dogs, hit on the two holes that were in the ground, because they did. So that like gave like so much more like anticipation to this story. And Jesse and Lily simply said like, oh, they play out scenarios like this all the time of like, oh, what if, like, you know, like she just like was like, oh, like let's prick the finger and just have a little bit of droplets and call it a day, you know, playing off of a joke. It was a joke. Katie didn't think it was very fucking funny.
No, she it's safe to say she's not a fan. She's not a fan. She's not a girly either.
No, she's not a girly. So we'll play Katie's reaction that she posted on TikTok, just kind of painting Jesse and Lily as extreme bullies that made her cry. So
bullies and liars and haters, and I can't imagine. I've watched it like 6 times today, so I don't need to watch it again.
Yeah, I can't either. So we're just going to
I just wanted to come on here really quickly and let you know that what you will never see on my page is being really fucking mean, spreading misinformation, spreading lies, and making a random 34-year-old mom in Ohio cry. That's what you won't see. I just had the pleasure of watching an 1.5-hour podcast of these 2 really, really kind girls talk about me and call me a clout goblin about 765 times. What I find to be ironic is that they have an 1.5-hour podcast talking about me. So who is the one chasing the clout here? I don't know, but I don't think it's me. I don't think it's me. I sent a lovely DM asking to send them screenshots so that I can prove all of their lies wrong. Will they give a shit? Probably not. They don't seem like the kind of girls who would. So I just wanted to let you know what you will and will not see here on my page. Will I make you laugh? I hope so. Could I make you cry? I don't know. Maybe. I like to be vulnerable. I like to talk about hard shit. Did I end up with 2 million followers after this entire escapade? Yes, we can all fucking look at my profile and see that. Should I never post again because of it? Is every post I make ever again from now on for the rest of time clout chasing? What would you like me to do? Delete my TikTok and start over? I think that sounds silly. But let me tell you, I also think it's silly to spend an 1.5 hours in the year of the Eras Tour to go onto a podcast to bully someone who you don't know, to bully someone who was absolutely fucking normal and had 5,000 followers 2 weeks ago and was posting about her miscarriage. That's what you choose to do with your time. That's what you choose to do with your voice. That's what you choose to do with your platform. You do you, girls. It won't be here. It won't be happening here. So you can trust that anytime you see me on your feed, it will be fucking kindness. It will be laughter. It could be tears. It will be anything but bullying.
Okay, so a couple of things that I want to highlight on here. There's a lot of avenues to go here. So one of the things that really irks me about the situation is, first of all, Katie painting that she never wanted any virality from this. That's bullshit. You used to work for the Jonas Brothers. You've said that on multiple occasions, like, you know, talking about that. We know, I don't think we're allowed to talk about specifics about the Miley Cyrus situation, but we know of a situation that when the people we know who know about that want to talk about it, we can. Doesn't paint her in a non-cloudy light. There's a lot of things that she does that you can tell, and that's fine, that you can tell that she was definitely wanting to build a platform, wanting to be a content creator. You know, like she's proud of talking about her life in LA and then moving back to wherever she moved to be a DJ for a long, like a radio host DJ or whatever. Like, it's okay. And Chelsea and I talk about this all the time. Clout doesn't necessarily have to be like a negative condensation. You know, it's we have clout goblins, then we have clout queens. And you know what? There's also ways to redeem yourself from being a goblin to a queen. Right now, this is goblin behavior. Yeah. And that's just the fact. So anyways, when she goes on there and says that they're bullying her, and I'm just like a mom and this and I'm that, and if they would have taken a minute to scroll and say that all I was doing was talking about my miscarriages and stuff, first of all, I think we've all said this in our group chat. Welcome to the club. Like, we've all been there. Chelsea was like, oh, great. Now I can never be hated on it anymore because I've had 6 of them. Like, we deal with trauma with humor. But the way that you are is like you're playing a victim and picking and choosing what's traumatic, what offends you, what doesn't. Yeah. You can say things that offend other people, you know, making light about the old homeowners having sad dementia and stuff like that, but then all of a sudden when you're called out about it, you're the one who was on TikTok just trying to talk about miscarriages. Like, it doesn't work like that.
Well, and that's one thing too, is that I mentioned in my video, and I was telling Sherilyn, I was like, girl, I went off. And I was like, all right, I gotta cut so much of this shit out. So how you just said, you know, you're like picking and choosing and, you know, making fun of your situation. But that's the thing, is that it's your situation. Like that's why we say like, oh no, I deal with my trauma with like humor, with tumor humor, as we call it. And, you know, we've got so many issues in my family. I'm not going to go up to someone with whatever cancer that, you know, we make fun of in my family and be like,
crack a joke.
Making
what? No.
Go up to someone and be like, hey, you got new nipples yet? And no, I would not do that. But then with my mom and be like, you got any nipples? And she's going to be like, no, because she's crazy, as y'all know. Love that woman so much. But yeah, it's so
we love Linda here.
She's the best. Yeah, I already told her you're moving in, and she's like, perfect. So I was like, awesome. All right, thanks. So it's just so interesting that it's like, oh, it's just my humor. And it's like, yeah, but those aren't your people. Those are random people that you're making jokes about their issues.
They were random people. You're making jokes about them.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, when someone like calls out and makes an actual joke, like Jesse and Lily, please let us know if we're wrong. Jesse and Lily's episode, it was so effing evident that those were jokes.
Yeah.
Like it was. I can't, okay? And then also to say, like, if you would have scrolled back and looked, you would have seen that. Why? Because it's not about you. It was about calling out specific actions. This isn't about you specifically. And you say this a lot in your stuff when you call out cringy or questionable or distasteful behavior, you never say, like, you're a piece of effing shit. You're like, I don't know you. I don't not like you. I don't like what you did.
Yeah.
And that's what this situation is. This has nothing to do with her. It has nothing to do with bullying, piling up on her. But my problem is that you make a post, you say you don't want to bully or, you know, you're against bullying, you'll never see it here. And then when people who never saw the episode proceed to make horrific comments on that video, you like every one of them, you comment, you freaking, you know, encourage them on and go on live and talk about shit. It's like, ma'am?
I think is their podcast name. And yeah, it's an entire hour and a half episode bashing the shit out of me, calling me a liar about my computer breaking, calling me a liar about getting robbed, saying that I've been clout chasing my whole life because I used to do YouTube when I was a teenager, and then I moved to LA when I was on my 20th birthday, actually. Like, I did these things happen? Yes, but for the last 15 years, I have been normal. Like, I was out of entertainment at the age of 23. I was doing it from 16 to 23.
Straight through that tube in that chocolate river and then straight to the incinerator room. Is that where he goes? I don't know. I think that's where
yeah, we don't know where they go.
You went to the juicing room. You're not Veruca. Yeah, you're Veruca. Are you?
No,
You're Violet. Violet, you're
Beauregard.
turning Violet. Oh my God. My wig's on too tight. So the one part that I actually cut out of my video that I had said, like I've said a billion times to you too, is that we don't need to know you. I'm going to talk about your, like, it's not about that. What she's doing is sad fishing and being like, oh, well, I'm just a mom. How dare you, call me out for this or like bully me. No one was bullying you. Calm down. How dare you call me out for this behavior when I'm just a mom or I'm a woman, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no one fucking cares. You can, as Amanda, what's her name? Amanda something from the Not Skinny But Not Fat podcast. Love her. How she even has merch that says, listen, you can be a mom and still be a dumb bitch. And it's so true. You can be a mom, still be a dumb bitch. You can have had traumatic shit happen to you, still be a dumb bitch. I had a Cocker Spaniel when I was in 4th grade named Priscilla. That's also irrelevant information. I'm sorry, are we not just shelling? Calm down. Sharing irrelevant information. I'm getting all worked up. I need to go to sleep.
I love it.
I'm so sorry.
I loved it. But that is it. That's it. It's like this had nothing to do with you. You took it way too personally and then you just went with it. And so this is where we were like, okay.
So one thing that I, again, cut out of my video because I'm a dummy, is that she would not mention, and kept saying it in the comments, like she's like, I'm not mentioning the name, like their names or the name of the podcast or whatever, because like I, don't want to, give them the time of day or like what they're looking for, whatever. Basically, in my opinion,
You don't want people to go over and see that actually what you said wasn't accurate, is what I think. But that's my opinion.
and I am also of that opinion, you beautiful blue queen. Yeah, it's so, I hate that. And a lot of people will do that, and they'll try to control the narrative and be like, no, they said this, this, and this. But it's like, okay, but if you said the name and people watched it, they'd be like, they didn't say that. They didn't call you a liar. They
No.
like Jesse and Lily aren't dumb.
Not at all.
You can't do that. I mean, you can, but like, it's not wise to do that.
No, and they never did that. And it was, again, for the 100th effing time, it was a joke. And so when we went into that live, I got muted. Chelsea was allowed to stay. I was allowed to stay. I just couldn't talk anymore. Because I said that. I said it was a joke. And,
I just kept copy and pasting.
what... I know people are just like, why are you saying the same thing? I'm like, because she's clearly not wanting to acknowledge like the reason. But anyways, it was when we went from, maybe loosely touching on it to really wanting to talk about this and highlight like just, again, like the garbage behavior. This goes beyond, I have a lot of opinions that we'll get into about like the whole true crime aspect of it, but this is beyond that. So when you didn't want to mention anybody, whatever, but you were liking comments that were naming them, and one specifically, let's read it, because oh my God, I'm so freaking mad right now.
Because for legal purposes, this is a joke for those of us who cannot distinguish what a joke is. Also, I'd like you guys to know that Face ID is not working on my phone for me. That's how you know it's good. However, it's pretty crazy that she is, how do I phrase this? That she's trying to maybe like hoist herself up. That's not right, Chelsea. Anyways, that she's trying to, like put herself up on a pedestal and be like, I'm better than them. I'm not gonna like say their name, blah blah blah. Like, no, I'm better than that. But then liking literally every comment, blocking roughly any comment allegedly that is in support of them. Which, if you want to see what people have said in the comment section and like why they got blocked, go ahead and look at the Do We Know Them subreddit. Disclaimer again, that subreddit has nothing to do with Jesse and Lily. They have no control over it and nothing like that, because I'm sure she'll probably blame them for those people making fun of her. What did they call her? Regina?
Yeah, Regina.
I love it.
No, Regina or Regina or something. Regina.
Yeah,
it was. I don't know. But yeah, like every comment that called them like fucking bitches, cunts.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
with a hard C. Ooh, not even a see you next Tuesday. She went full.
No, it was hard, and she's hurting all of that. But this was the one that got me. So this pork chops and applesauce says, isn't Jessie Smiles the one who had beef with Gabby Hanna and went on and on about bullying and mean girl shit? Katie replies back, correct, with a period. That to me says authority, that you know your fucking facts that you're saying and standing on business saying, yep, that's the situation. And then she goes, also consider that people are angry there wasn't a body, which says a lot about them. Actually, it says a lot about Katie by her reaction when there was no body, and we'll also show that. We were never, ever going to talk about Gabby Hanna because we love Jessie, we respect her, we were following the same kind of rules as the Do We Know Them podcast.
Yeah,
so I don't want to go into specifics of what that situation was, because it is, we've obviously talked to Jessie about this and want to know her thoughts, checked on her to make sure she's fucking okay, because this is ridiculous.
Bought her a pair of Skims. It's gone.
You did,
it's
yes.
all right. It's not even just wanting to, because I want to make it clear, it's not like we're like, oh, we want to follow the same guidelines, because I know we're gonna get that. As like, Do We Know Them? But it's no, out of respect for our friend on our podcast, we're not going to talk about our friend's trauma in detail like that. But if you know, you know. If you've been on the internet, you most likely know what has happened, all that. And
yeah, and so we'll leave it at that. Like, there's a lot that goes on there, but at the end of the day, basically, Gabby Hanna is like, you know, like a rape apologist or you know, like supports like, anyways. So for Katie to say correct, and there's no backtracking from that. You know the situation, you said correct, and this would tie into you saying that Jesse and Lily don't know their facts about you. So this is why I want to clear that up right now before she even tries to say that, because she went on, oh, they got it wrong about how much I made from the creator fund. Okay, like fucking boo-hoo.
What was the misinformation on the podcast? Where do I start? They said that I pricked my finger and put my blood, and that was what to get the dogs to sit. That I must have, the only reasonable explanation is that I made myself bleed, and that is how the dog sat. So first off, not true. And then they said that I made hundreds of thousands of dollars. Also not true.
All right. You stood on business saying that, yep, that's the girl. That's the one I'm talking about. And what Gabby did to her, that's where I tipped over the edge. I was like, wow. And you're upset because they literally made a joke about you pricking your finger to make the dogs bark. It was a joke.
They literally referenced Little Shop of Horrors.
They did.
They just had a thought. What is it? What if? Oh God, she like pricked her fingers. I was supposed to say pricked her finger like Little Shop of Horrors and just like squeezed it everywhere. No, but I think that they're specifically, it's not blood. I think they are like dead body dogs.
It is.
Oh, it's blood?
No, the police say blood.
No.
Because that's what they keep referencing, a nosebleed.
Oh my God. Oh, that's what she did, allegedly, but absolutely.
They Googled it before they found out cadaver dogs were coming. Like, what do they smell for?
Shut the
I'm not really saying that happened, but I wouldn't doubt it.
But like, no, because imagine then they see her blood, let's say, or maybe she just put one drop.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but that's the thing, is the biggest thing about cadaver dogs is like they can smell a drop of blood when it's underground. So it's like it's in dirt, you wouldn't be able to see it.
That would be a level of clout goblinery that CCR would quake at. Like, that is seriously just another world. I would be so shocked.
Like, I'm not accusing her of doing that.
But we're just exploring, just like she explored
I'm just
several
exploring the options. She's a big theory girl.
Yeah,
so.
we're just looking into it.
Come on. And it's just, I hate it so much. I'm going to burn this place to the ground. I'm also not, and that's, for legal purposes, that's a joke, insurance adjuster. Fucking flood insurance adjuster. But it's also like, can this rug lady, she does not deserve the respect of me actually acknowledging that I know her name. I only do because I made a video about her today or yesterday. But can she just go ahead and dress up like Princess Jasmine and stand on a rug for Halloween?
That's her plan.
Yeah.
That's her plan.
And just get canceled for cultural appropriation and being insensitive. Like,
yeah.
I hate it
and
so
that's
much.
That's where it goes to, you know, like, it's like you took something that didn't need, like, I don't know. To me, it looked like, okay, like everybody kind of fell off from the rugs or whatever. You see things are going down. Now, all of a sudden, it's like the drama. It's the sad fishing of what's happened next. And then I was just a mom who was like talking about, you know, miscarriages. And it's like we said, I guess we all have passes now. Like, I guess we can all talk about that because we've all not only experienced that, but also have had like terrible things happen to us in our fucking lives. And don't come on here and use that as an excuse for anything. Let me get back on track because I'm getting saucy
No,
again.
you're good, babe.
All right. I wanted to go in that folder and read some of the comments from Marky's video and not. So I did that. I did it specifically with these comments in that folder because these are from Marky's video, not Jesse and Lily's, because I didn't want there to be like any bias of like them like supporting, you know, oh, like you got these from your friends, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. So this was the issue to begin with, and this is the actual valid critique that I think that if she ever wants to make a shift, you said this in your video. She's talked about, wasn't it on the news? They're like, what's next for you? And she's like, I don't know, like a true crime podcast. And I was like, please don't.
Oh my God.
If this is how you are going to approach this, don't.
Please don't.
You have no idea what you do to families, to friends, like victims, when you approach it like this. If you can change that delivery, great. She's not wrong about gaining exposure to cold cases and stuff like that. She did talk about that being like, oh, like if I talked about this and it got, you know, like more attention on cold cases. Great. If that's what you're going to do. But don't do it in a like joking, chill, like, you know, cracking jokes with this big smile plastered all over your face, not giving any dignity to what's gone on, and like potentially someone tried to. Thank God nobody was in this rug, because she was on live while they were digging up her yard
and already selling merch for it, like before that.
What's in the rug? Yeah, saying what's in the rug,
and with like a skull, and it like just keep digging, and it's like, but, and that's the point I made too, is like, but what if there was like, what are you doing? Oh my God.
Also, I wanted to go back. There's a clip here. I didn't put it in my notes, but this was just something, and I don't know if it's relevant, but it goes back to the whole thing where she's just like, oh, she said on live the other day when we were in that one, oh, when did I start TikTok? I started in August, and then she reads this date, and I'm like, did you?
I started posting, my first video I posted was on August 26th. And that was 3 days after my DNC miscarriage procedure. And I started talking about my miscarriage on August 26th. And here we are on October 14th. And yeah, a little bit crazy.
I go back, no, she didn't. She started her TikTok in 2020 and had been posting, and certain things weren't, you can tell it was just like, you know, maybe wasn't hitting or whatever, and then maybe she kind of like fell off, went back in 2021, was posting in 2022, 2023. You came back, you why are you lying? I have the screen recording of your fucking TikTok that was started in 2020. Why did you just say that you started it in August, and like this just happened to like be the way that the chips fell for you?
Yeah,
that's not true.
There's also like no, I mean, we've even said before too, you know, there's no shame in, and there shouldn't be. I mean, I know some people try to be like, oh, you're a sellout. And it's like, no, I have been smart and listened to my analytics for once. I should have earlier. I mean, both of us, you know, moving over to, you know, commentary genres of true crime and anti-scam, when we were getting, like 200 views per video doing makeup content. Cause we're like, we're girls, we have to do makeup content. When we're just yappers, you know, we love yapping.
We are just yappers.
Hello, feral farts. We have quite an unhinged update for you. This is Chelsea, if you could not tell. Now, Rugtok lady slid into my DMs on TikTok, which I rarely ever check. It was in the message request, which again, never check that. And she said, if you want to have a conversation, I would be happy to. A conversation about what? I said all I got to say in my video. Why do I need to have a conversation? What else are you going to say? I don't need to do that. And then about 20 minutes later, she said, maybe I'm not on the internet enough. But I have never heard of Jessie or her trauma prior to this whole thing. I also haven't heard of Gabby Hanna. When I said correct, it was just that they were talking about the right Jessie, because so many people had already said that. I messaged them on Instagram, not TikTok. They haven't responded. Maybe they don't use IG. I don't know. Now, it has been confirmed by me and Jessie and Lily that they don't have DMs on TikTok from her. They also don't have DMs on Instagram from her either. And you could say, oh, well, maybe it got stuck in the held for review folder. But the thing is, or hidden request or whatever, the thing is that if you go to someone's page who has previously messaged you, even if they were stuck in the request folder, if you go to DM them, it's going to show everything that they have sent you before. And since Jessie was going to message Katie, she checked. And so did Lily. They both checked right away if she had messaged them. And of course, because Instagram is funky sometimes, the easiest way to do that is go to the person's account, click message, and see if there is one there. She had not messaged them individually on Instagram. But she may have, and this has not been confirmed because they haven't checked yet because it's early in the morning. If you do want an update on if she did send them a DM to the podcast Instagram account, then definitely go watch Jessie and Lily's video, because I'm sure they will probably add that in as an update. It is funny because Jessie doesn't even have the login information for that, and Lily doesn't check it. Neither of them are ever on that account. So it's just really funny that she sent it to that one instead of the ones that they like are like that it's clear that they're actively using them. Not saying that she did that intentionally. She said she doesn't know them. Okay, whatever. But my response to her was scram.
Scram! Leave her alone. She doesn't want to talk to you.
Because I don't need to talk to her. Why would I need to talk to her? That would be so redundant and stupid. Not a fan, man. All right. Let's go ahead and get back to the video. Hopefully I don't have to pop in again.
Okay. So we've shared enough about our opinion. So Marky also did a video on the whole situation. We love Marky over here. And I went to his comment section specifically because I didn't want any bias from, people just supporting Jesse and Lily or whatever. Yeah. And it being like, well, those are your friends. You went to their comment section. So I went to Marky's, and this was not Jesse and Lily just bullying and taking it. These are people's valid concerns, and a lot of people who aren't on social media. So I guess we're going to talk about, let's talk about the cadaver dogs for first off. Do you want to read the number one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hold on. Let me just get into the folder because my phone has decided that this is not my face. And you know what? I don't blame it. I take that as a compliment. Okay, so the Lady Isabel, love that.
Oh, I love that.
Said, usually I just drop a heart for the algorithm. But Isabel's a yapper. I love it. Cadaver dogs. Cadaver dogs on hit on something. What? On hit?
Hit on something dead. That was an extra on.
I am also.
Or only hit on something dead.
God, I love you. Cadaver dogs only hit on something dead. That's all. Not blood or old food or treats. Dead stuff. It's it's decay. Like they can see. That's what the point I had made. Like they can sense and smell like death and decay. That's literally what it is. See, I listen to my husband when he talks to me about work stuff because usually I'm just like, I'm a civilian. I don't care.
You're like,
yeah. But I think the dogs are so cool. So he got bit by one. It was hilarious.
And we know they're not like, obviously we know like this isn't like 100% like fact. We know that they mess up. Like that's why a lot of times it's not 100% like reliable in court. Like oftentimes they won't let that type of evidence come in because it can't always be, for certain. But this person in particular kind of explaining the difference of the dogs is being like, if that was an actual cadaver dog, they would never have hit on blood. Yes. Or like you said, like old food.
Yes.
Or
and it's the point of well, you know what? Let me let Isabel explain it because this bitch is smarter than I am. So tracking dogs will hit on blood. Like a bloodhound. That's why they're called that. That's why they have long ears, in case you didn't know. Yeah. So something was there and decay took over because decay is the smell of death. That's what they smell. Especially with a 6-foot diameter being hit by 2 different dogs. As far as the rug, that's easy. It's probably a bitch, why are you so smart? A petroleum-based product, like a polyester. In the past years, that was too much of a hassle to load up and pay someone to, take it away to a landfill. People would bury stuff like that all the time to get rid of it. About 3 months ago, I found 6 large 40-pound plastic bags of dirt around a tree. The prior owner did that to keep the dirt in place and the landscaping around it, and to even make it look pretty. But I do believe that she needs a camera because someone is either in the house or hiding or breaking in. And it's funny that they even said too, they were like, girl, your stepkids or your husband or someone lied to you. Like, so what
I know, there's a couple comments that we're going to get to that were on Marky's video that I died over. Like when it came to the broken laptop.
Yeah.
I died.
You know how many times I broke something of my parents or me and my siblings, like, well, mainly me and Julianne, broke something and we were like, oh my God, it was the dog.
Yeah.
And then we tell our parents now, 20 years later, it's my favorite.
You know what? That actually reminded me. One time I broke my mom's like TMJ retainer, and to this day I don't think I ever told her. But I remember like she was like so devastated because she was like a single mom and like had to pay for this thing, and I was like, I don't know what happened, and it was me.
There's there's one that I still haven't told my parents about, but it was when I was in college. But there is one. Me and Julian were playing Halo or Mario Party. I think it was Halo because he got mad. And he took the controller and threw it at the TV. Nope, it was N64, so it was not Halo. It was 007. Yeah. So he was just mad that I was odd job and I was able to get away from him so fast. So he threw the controller at the TV, like one of those big projection back TVs. Ugh. And the early 2000s, I love it. And it had a big ass crack in it from that. And the dog, one of our Cocker Spaniels at the time, before we were a Bulldog family, was like right next to me. And I looked at him and I said, Elvis did it. Because that was the dog's name. And he was like, what? And I was like, that's what I'm telling Mom. And he's like, okay, thanks. And then girl, finally, like 3 years ago, we were all drunk in on our like family vacation. And we told her, and then my dad just looks at him and he's like, would anyone else like to come clean about something? And so then we all just kept going and started telling him things.
I love this is what's gonna happen to them in like 20 years.
Bad.
You know, it's gonna be like, that was me. Because if you guys aren't up with the story, the whole thing kind of started, like she was laying it down being like, I think my house is haunted. I came into my office, which is also a shared space for her children and stepchildren's like play area. And she's like, and there's all this stuff like on my desk that's just like strewn about and my laptop's broken. And everyone's like, girl, it's the fucking kids. Like there's no ghost. And then next thing she knows, she's digging up her yard like a day later and then finds the rug, and then this just took off and like went obviously viral. She went from 6,000 followers to 2 million in like literally days.
Do we know how old the stepkids are?
I'm not sure. I think she has said it in a video. Her son is younger for sure.
Yes, yeah. I saw a funny video that she posted of him, but I'm just saying, like, listen, if I was like 11 and I saw something that said nipple cream, you bet your ass I'm checking out what that is. All right. and then maybe I get too spooked and tingled that like I don't put it back in the right place. I don't know.
And it's missing. Yeah. That's where I think that's my humble opinion. These are all our opinions, but yeah. Another person said, rights for zombies. Yeah, rights for zombies. As a forensic scientist who has excavated remains, I'm very skeptical of the footage being of real cadaver dogs. There were no handlers in sight. I've never seen them work without their handlers right beside them. Cadaver dogs make mistakes, but they alert specifically to one thing: human decomposition, and that is in bold letters. That alleged cop who she asks about the dogs is totally wrong about them alerting to blood. I know that they said it's not their field, but it's common knowledge in law enforcement that dogs don't alert to blood. They alert to human decomposition. I think part of this is fabricated to be more entertaining. I mean, that's up for speculation, obviously. But again, I just love that insight of an actual forensic scientist being like, this is the difference. And I think somebody else even mentioned too that the handlers, like by the handlers not having like specific like identification in uniforms was like a little bit sketchy. Again, like more comments will have them going on from Marky's video about reiterating the decay.
But the thing is, and I completely agree. Like when I heard that, I was like, no, it's not a drop. It's not a drop of blood. It's and that's why I said like cadaver, like it's decay, because that's, you know, that's what it's the smell. And but believe you me, when you, I mean, well, believe you Tony, not me, because he's the one who smelled it. But yeah, it's, girl, that smell is apparently I never want to smell it. Horrible. But one thing I do want to make clear though too is that every department, because I know Tony would say this as well, every law enforcement agency, every law enforcement like department, sheriff's office, police department, whatever, they, unfortunately, a lot of them are underfunded and will, let me phrase this in a different way, actually. Maybe it isn't a more affluent area where the taxes are not higher to where they're going to have more resources. So I do want to make that clear too, because there are a lot of places where the training isn't as good or their resources aren't as good. You think they got 4 water tanks or like amphibious vehicles over in wherever in fucking Ohio she is? Probably not. That shit's expensive. They probably don't have that. They probably don't have multiple helicopters, right? I mean, so that's important to know too. But I do think it's just easier for people to be like, yeah, it's not the canine unit. I mean, what does a civilian say, right? Like whenever people say to, Tony, they're like, oh, you're, a police officer. And he's like, I'm actually a sheriff's deputy, but okay. And it's like, oh, officer, and Officer Suarez. And he's like, no, Deputy Suarez. And it's like, sir, they're civilians. They don't care. I don't care. You look good in the uniform.
I do love, yes, I do love that, like, being like, for Tony to say that, because I've gotten better with that as my channel has, like, as I've evolved in my content, because I would just say, like, officer sometimes, but, like, now specifically when I'm researching things, I try to, as much as I can, be like, okay, that was a deputy, like, and reiterate that, because I know that it does make a difference. But you're right, like, for civilians, it's like, it is what it is. Leaning on that, though, with the true crime stuff, which is what really irked me and why I didn't want to really talk about it, is it was the, and I didn't want to talk about it also is because of my bias and how defensive and upset that I get about this situation.
But you're self-aware. That's good.
Yeah, but these are the situations, like, these are other people who don't have, platforms or whatever, and this is their take on this whole situation, which validated my feelings of being like, this feels cringy. This feels icky. You can do true crime content. You can do all of this stuff without making it glorified, which is why, the only person that I support and love that does makeup in true crime is Brittany. Like, I don't like people eating and gossiping, and doing their makeup and cracking joke on joke on joke on joke. It makes me feel very icky. Yeah. And this felt icky really fast. So that was a lot of the comments that I saw. And I think this is where, Katie can take criticism and hopefully transform from goblin behavior to queen behavior and say, listen, I agree. I don't like the way that I approach this. I see and hear everybody's concerns, and I'm willing to use my platform that I now have to do good and help people. Because once you work with that first family and you cry, like sit there while they're crying, you know what I mean? Like, that changes you. That changes everything about you. So I just wanted to read some of those comments where, I was like, good for you guys, because we're getting it. Hope, some people are getting it. But why does she seem so gleeful on discovering a dead body? Is this another Logan Paul moment? Again, like, that could have been the situation. You know what I mean? Like, Logan Paul's out. He was in the one of the force in Japan, right?
Yeah, he was
Suicide Forest, I think.
Yeah,
or something?
in the Suicide Forest, and they were walking around, and realistically, like, statistically speaking, unfortunately, if you are going there, which you're not supposed to go there, obviously, but if you do go there, statistically, it's probably like, what, a 20% chance? I'll do the math. No, I won't. But there's because there's so many people who take their lives there, like, unfortunately, horrible, clearly. But also, like, just, I don't know, just, like, going there in general, when you know that about it, like, it's different than, like, going to, like, somewhere that's haunted or something like that, but it's like, oh yeah, people, like, that's too fresh. Like, what are you doing? It's crazy. Yeah, I know, not good. But yeah, he did that.
And he posted it, and he pretty much didn't come back to YouTube from that, and rightfully so, So that's where I think about this sensationalizing it, and where I think, what would you have done when you're on live and you're pointing in the direction and they dig up somebody's remains? That makes me feel so, like, sad and sick at the same time. Because I just think about somebody, like my own loved ones. And when she was first going, I remember, like, seeing the first video where I was like, oh, this is taking a really icky turn. And I looked at the comments, And one of my friends, Kaylin, who she's a TikToker, she does ASMR stuff, but her mom, I worked with her to do her mom's case. She's a missing person. She's missing in Alaska. And Kaylin commented on several videos with just like no acknowledgement of being like, hey, I just want you to know, like, as somebody whose mother is missing and it tears me apart every day, I would be absolutely devastated if there is somebody like in your ground. And this is the way that you are talking about the situation. And it's like, yeah, like, why aren't we talking? Like, why aren't you acknowledged? She's not acknowledged this at all, like, from what I'm seeing, unless it's on lives and stuff like that. And that's the same equivalent of being like, oh, I made a post on my story apologizing for something horrific and it disappeared after 24 hours. Like, no.
Yeah, it's gross. It's definitely gross. Wasn't Israel Keys mainly in Alaska? Or no? He was all over?
Yeah, he was. He was all over. I think the only person that he actually killed in Alaska, though, was like his last victim, which is why he got caught, because he went completely out of like his norm. Like he traveled specifically to not get caught. And then it was like this one time he just, So, no, I don't think he has anything to do with like Kaylin's mom or anything like that.
That's so sad.
There is speculation of like who's responsible and stuff like that, and a lot of like I did a video on it, so if you guys are curious at all, or even just go and follow Kaylin Schneider on TikTok. She doesn't talk a lot about it, but I think there is a folder that you can see, and other people have done podcasts and worked with her on it. So this is the thing, is like you can use your platform and do things to work with victims' families. Like, I don't know, there's good ways of doing it, but again, more comments saying she's so excited for the cadaver dog to come. It's gross. Why is she acting so excited? I really hate the internet when it comes to stuff like this, because she seems so happy and excited about the whole idea that she might find a dead body in her yard to get some clout. If you knew that there was a possibility, you should be concerned about a solemn? What does that mean? A solemn.
So solemn is a term in soil science that refers to the upper layer of soil that has been affected by soil forming processes. So there you go.
Oh, I love that you Googled that, because that's actually important.
Yeah, girl, it's relevant.
It is very relevant. We should have been more concerned about that. Mm-hmm. And then they finish off saying it's not supposed to be a good thing. Just imagine if it was a real body and you were so pumped and sensationalist about it. Yep. No class at all. Her videos are so dystopian to me. Why does she sound so giddy? Talking about the possibility of there being a dead person buried in her garden. Mm-hmm. This, I just came to comment this, so gross. Mm-hmm. I can't stand this. She was giddy, that there might be a murder mystery. Freaking sicko. It's giving Logan Paul filming the body in the Japanese forest again. The fact that she's filming when she thought there would be a body is so gross and icky. If there was a body, what then? Exactly. Would she have actually posted the footage? Well, yeah, because she was on live. Like, at that one point, like, people are in there screen recording, doing everything. You couldn't have come back from that moment.
Yeah.
She's so excited about a dead body. Why was she so excited about that? Maybe I'm alone in this. You are not, but it felt icky to me. It does feel icky.
So if she was, well, yeah, never mind. I guess if she was live and they like pulled something out. So I feel like the people who were there, the law enforcement individuals, law enforcement officers who were there knew that she was, recording things even from like feet away or whatever, or, yards away in her house. And I think that before like taking anything out, hopefully they would have like stopped him and like, okay, we need to make sure that no one's recording, and told her to stop.
I know they did a certain barrier to like tell her like she couldn't leave her yard past that point, but when they were like grabbing the carpet and like moving it away, that's recorded. Like, that was all recorded. So I don't know. This is telling though where it goes. Her being live on TikTok and getting all of those gifts, acting excited to be dealing with homicide, is so Black Mirror coded. Mm-hmm. This situation icks me out. Yeah. And, it's like, then this person This makes my heart hurt. She said, I found a dead body once. Not for a second did I think about making a video about it. Something is seriously wrong with people. TikTok is a curse. Edit. The scene haunts me to this day. How can you get so excited at the thought of this? And that actually made me really like step back and think about, I have a friend who was walking to school, and like to this day, this was in high school. So what, like 20 years ago, is traumatized because as she's walking to school, she looks up and saw somebody who had taken their life, like on the bleachers or on the goalpost of the school.
Holy
and
shit.
Yeah, she, to this day, all of these years later, that completely fucks her up. And it's like, where are we in society where it's like we're going to pull out our phones immediately and talk about all of this stuff? Like, it's just, these are the comments. There's so many of these. I think I literally took just 30 screenshots from Marky's video specifically, not about anything else. I didn't even look into Jesse and Lily's for anything, where the sentiment is also the same. Yeah, it's just, again, like more, she's hopping on live stream waiting for a body to be found. This is so fucked up. The smiling. Yeah, it's just a lot about the smiling. There's so many more. We'll have our editors just kind of go through the reels so you guys can kind of pause and read if you want. But this is another one too. In the true crime genre, we've become so desensitized and romanticize homicide. Why are we getting excited over a homicide unit pulling up? And that's it. That's kind of, back to the whole thing with, yeah, what true crime has done to a lot of people. But this we'll kind of wrap this up with the whole situation about the broken laptops, because that like kind of, I was like, this is where this kind of all started, and it goes to it was probably your kids who broke something. So a few minutes in, the logic tells me the kids broke her laptop and messed up her desk. The charger the kid used is going bad. And this does happen with my kids too. If they use my charger and they put the wrong like cord into the wrong thing, like within a day or two, like I'm like, I can notice. Like we just have them on deck now because it's just a lost cause to be like, this one's yours, this one's, this one goes in this bottom. It just is what it is. So the person says the same. Imagine accidentally breaking your mom's computer as a kid and somehow convinces her that there's a dead person buried in her yard. And I like died at that because it's like, imagine doing that. That kid's sitting back, seeing homicide come out, like from what like ensued from this. And then what, like 20 years later, you're like, that was me.
20 years later on a family vacation when you're all drunk playing Pictionary. You decide to tell your mom that you're the one that broke the laptop. Oh my God.
Right? You're just like, so I got something to tell you. This is a last one and a very good point. I don't hope that she gets charged or anything because I don't think that her intentions were ever to go like as far as it did. But
no.
It says, I hope she gets charged financially for wasting authorities' time. People who are looking for justice for their missing loved ones don't get even 1% of the attention from the police that this woman got. And that got me because I was like, fucking preach. Like, you know what I would love to go viral for? Justice for David Elmquist.
Yep. I was like, damn, I was just going to mention that.
I would love it. Yeah. Like, help the Elmquist family. Like, Jesus Christ. I don't, that's, yeah, you can scream from, it just makes me think about all the families just like screaming from the rooftops. Like, please reinvestigate. Please look into this. Please do this. And it's like, the police don't even give a shit to return a phone call.
Yeah, there's one in the like Plant City, Valrico, Brandon area here, and it's just been, we've talked about this before, but like when you feel that pull towards something, and I felt this case pulling me for so long, ever since I like randomly stumbled upon one of the like Facebook like support groups on Facebook, because it's Facebook's support group. But oh my God, it just I texted Kelly one day, our researcher, and I was like, hey, want to solve a missing persons case? And she was like, hell yeah, girl, what do I gotta do? And I was like, here you go. And I sent her the Facebook thing, and I just like I want to look so much more into it, but it is tough because the
let's take them on. We should take them on. Let's share. You guys let us know if you guys would ever want to hear us like share and bring some attention to.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not stepping away from true crime, and this has been like a question, not like everybody from like my channel like watches everything that I do or whatever. But if you've had questions, if you're here, you already know the answer.
We're
pivoting.
We're pivoting because we're burnt out. And we're
it's
going more
so
broad.
Much.
We're going more broad.
I'm going a little bit broad just for my mental reset. It's not that it's gone forever, and I am incorporating like other forms of like crime that don't necessarily like end in murder, but like things that deserve to be talked about, even like survivor stories and stuff like that. So I should
get you an interview with Lisa McVeigh. That's probably wrong. We'll post a picture of her. She's a fucking badass. She's awesome. It was Bobby Joe Long, one of the only serial killers that we've had who was like in the Hillsborough County area. Fucking crazy, man. She was his last victim and helped, actually, I think there was one right after her, maybe. But she manipulated the shit out of him and got away. Like, he returned her to where he took her. Yeah. And then she went straight to the sheriff's office and was like, this happened. And they were like, okay. And she was able to get them. She was able to get them to his house. Yeah. And then
I just well,
and what
bad fucking ass.
Hell yeah. And one of Tony's dad's best friends, and then it's funny because he went to like elementary school with my dad, so they were friends for a long time too, which is funny. That guy, retired detective Stephen Cribb, was the arresting officer or arresting deputy, but he was the detective, and he was there when Bobby Joe Long got lethal injection.
Wow.
He pulled those strings and he was like, get me in there. Yeah, he's iconic. He's a badass, and she is even more so because and now guess what she does?
What?
She works for the sheriff's office. I know, I cried when Tony told me that. I fucking cried. He has talked to her multiple times and he's like, yeah, she's fucking awesome. She's great. She's awesome. But I mean I could get you interviews with them and stuff.
Yeah, when I'm ready again to speak to people who have been through a lot of trauma. I don't know what the fuck happened. And you know what? No, I do know it. You've said it, like my family and stuff like that too. I'm like, I don't know what like hit me all of a sudden. Mm-hmm. It's like, you've been in this 4 years and it's day in and day out. It's not like you do a case. I do a case a week, and that case doesn't come together in one day. That is like usually like 2 weeks minimum behind this. So this is there's no breaks ever. I never turn it off, and I've been able to just like finally force myself, because I'm no useful to anybody if I'm completely empty, and that's where I've been feeling. So I'm just recharging, but also like dabbling my toes in other ways to like still help people. Loving the podcast so much because Chelsea and I have said that a number of times. Like it's given us like so much reinvigorated us, and this is our baby. This is where we love to be. So
listen, we just want to be able to write off our wig purchases, but also I'm orange, and I'd love to say it's for you guys. It's not. It's for me. Tony also told me the other day, he was like, I'm gonna need you to stop buying Halloween costumes on Amazon, and my response was, I haven't in like 2 months. And he said, no, it was last month, and I'm gonna need you to stop. And I was like, no, it's a business expense. And he said, if you say one more thing as a business expense, I'm calling your accountant. I was like, okay, sorry.
Tony's cutting us off. Halloween season's over. We have one more for you guys that we're really excited about because we get to do it actually in person.
Yes, but also it's never over. We're always going to continue to do this forever. I mean, we could.
It's never over,
know, right?
Tony.
We could just calm down and not do like something crazy. We could do like a theme or something, like,
Yeah.
Not wearing inflatables, and I look ridiculous.
I've deflated now. I was so full. Chelsea looked over. She's like, "Can you breathe?" Before we went on, I was like, "I've just got the fans on."
She was like up to here. It was great. But
okay, I think
So there's actually a segment that I already know that you're ready for, because I know you have screen recording. So like a lot of podcasts will have palette cleansers at the end of their episodes, right? Well, I was trying to think of what could we do. Now, we've talked about, this is a surprise to Sherilyn. She's probably like, bitch, what the fuck are you talking about? But
I am. I'm like,
I know,
what the fuck
right?
is going on?
So we have talked constantly about like, oh my God, I saw this person on TikTok live. So at the end of our episodes from now on, we're going to try to remember, because we've already forgotten to do a few segments before, is I don't know what we're going to call it. Y'all can, put in the comments below what you think would be a good name for the segment. But we're going to share with each other some craziness that we saw on TikTok live. And the thing is that all we both have to do at any given moment is open up our screen recording folder on our phone. I already have mine for you.
Okay, what's yours?
It's so bad. It's so bad. Well, I'll just wait.
Okay, I'm sending yours now.
Yeah. I could not stop watching. And it's not always going to be like cringe ones. Sometimes it'll be good ones. Like I'll try to find, it'll be heartwarming sometimes. Oh my God. Oh, that's what's her face? I know her.
You know her?
I don't know her, but I know her. I know.
Oh my God, what is yours? Okay, wait, hold on. Okay, let's watch yours first.
Okay, you go ahead.
Arouse.
Okay.
Arouse. 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 My friend. My friend.
Is he Genie?
Yeah. Oh, Rose. Gigi. Oh, Rose. Apple.
See, but then he like,
Rose.
I hate it.
Little pool.
Why isn't your neck painted?
Ice cream.
Why isn't your
Ice cream.
the ice cream?
Yeah. Ugh. Look at his eyeballs.
Ice cream. Rose.
He gave us a little smooshy.
Rose. Oh my gosh. Ice cream. Whoa, box.
Fucking Gesundheit.
Rose. Vote for me. Rose. TikTok. Gigi.
Listen, like,
Gigi.
it's honestly,
How much cocaine do you have to do before getting on live to have this much energy for like an hour?
Thank you.
oh, that's what it is. Oh, he just bit me.
Oh, welcome to my
Yeah, watch out. He's biting you. I know, I'm a little bit ahead of you.
Oh, welcome to my team. Rose.
But it's just so impressive. But it's also probably, allegedly, so much cocaine.
I'm sweating from being burned out from just getting scared.
Yeah, I know. I'm really sorry.
Okay.
I cannot wait to watch yours. Okay. Oh, God, I'm scared.
That was a little bit less intense. Was that a good volume for you? It's corn! Balenciaga! Patrick. Hi. Hello. I'm Maisie. Maisie,
God, I
hello.
love her.
Oh, big love, right back at you. It's corn! Balenciaga!
And then it ends?
I don't get it, but
Wait, how?
I just ended it there. But she'll do that for an entire live, and she'll just scream Balenciaga like that at you, and I can't.
Do you know what it's from?
No. Oh, is this a thing?
Oh my God, fired. Yeah.
Well, I
and-
know like about the Balenciaga stuff, but like
no,
I don't
not-
understand like what that
no,
was.
not like the schmetophilia stuff. The what's her face in Coven, American Horror Story Coven. Have you never seen that show? Yeah, when when Myrtle Snow gets burned, they say, "Do you have any final words?" And she yells out, "Balenciaga!" She's being burned because she's like an iconic fashion mommy. She's amazing. I love her so much.
I do too. Okay, so Haley and I actually have on my oldest. She's 18, so this is fine. But on our But hey, wait, no. I also have to be real, like, because this started like several years ago. We watch the Murder House every October. We watch the entire like series of Murder House.
I do too.
Together, and then I love that.
I do the first three, right? Or is it 4? Is Coven 3? Murder House Asylum Coven?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, first 3 then.
So we don't watch Asylum. It's
So-
very deep, like heavy for her.
Yeah.
Obviously. But we also love Coven. So we haven't watched that one like as religiously, but Coven was on our list. Like, so when I come home from Atlanta, then we'll transfer over to Coven. So now I'll be able to see that part and be like, right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, I love that so much. I think one thing to also, tie that into is not with American Horror Story, but with like being someone who is, I'm not a Wiccan. I'm not, or Wicca, whatever. Okay. I am just, y'all, my people know I'm very intuitive, but like I say like I'm super intuitive or like I'm a witchy person or whatever, but I don't know how you could, maybe that's what it is with us or with Jesse and Lily too, is like, or anyone, is like I'm not trying to fuck with the spirits. I have never and will never touch a Ouija board. I'm not opening that door, as we say. I'm keeping that door closed, okay?
Yeah.
I'm not opening it. No. Nay.
I have when like at sleepovers, like back in the day, I think there was like one like awful experience that like, and then I never did it again. And then, but what I have done with like my cousins who are also very like, I don't know if you want to call it like witchy or whatever, but like extremely like protective. Like so we did this one thing like relatively recently when we were all together because they're from Montreal, and it was like she made like it wasn't even like a board, like made her own, like it was all like blessed and whatever, and got together and had like our certain crystals and stuff. Like it was never like a board that we had like no control over. This was her. And I know like so many people who are like religious are probably like fucking shitting themselves. When my dad found this out, like he lost his mind. It was one of the most like amazing experiences I've ever had like in my life. It was actually really beautiful. And yeah, there was no like outside like interference with it. Like this was all like specifically like hand done like through her and like blessing and all of that. But
yeah, I think from what I'm gonna say from now on is I'm very spiritual instead, because like technically sure that falls under that, but I love that. That could be considered a seance, but a ritual, so to speak. I've been meditating a lot lately to get more in tune with my
You have been.
I know, I'm really excited about it. But I've been getting some stuff. And yeah, I don't have good feelings about this rug bitch. I don't. Okay? I don't like it. I'm usually a pretty good judge of character. I unfortunately do give people the benefit of the doubt too often. Yeah. But yeah, I'm not a fan of that. We should ask people to comment, since we're getting real close to spooky Halloween. We should have them comment their like, I don't want to say like paranormal experiences, but your spiritual experiences.
Would we be okay with also how you did, because we're still gonna do that when we get together in Atlanta, do the sip or spill together, but maybe we can also have a new thread where people can share that and then we can read those as well, like paranormal, or even just do it in the comments or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like that. So that it's like somewhere where everybody can go together, because I think that would be fun for our like Halloween episode, just kind of also have a little segment to include like all of our Clout queens, kings, and in between.
I love that. Yes, if you put in, it would have to be searchable for me so I can print it out and put it on there. So if you comment down below, if you want to share your like spiritual experience, you can put in there about your say, I just put in my spiritual experience and then colon and then whatever, because then I will search spiritual.
Yeah, then you can search it, right?
I'll search probably experience or something like that. That's very helpful for us. Thank you. So I want to do that, and then also eventually when we do get a Patreon, rather when Patreon contacts us, which I have had feelings about that too. I'm so excited. I have so many content ideas. For instance, we're going to go see a past life regressionist, and we're going to have a series on there called CC and Share Do, and then it's whatever we're doing. So CC and Share Do Atlanta. CC and Share Do, what's that one fancy place? Banff.
Yes, Banff. I want to take you to Banff so bad in
Yeah.
Alberta. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, I would love that. And we'll go to a past life regressionist and see who we were and what we did and all that bullshit. And
Can you imagine if we like knew each other and that's why we've like found each other?
why you stalked me?
Ooh. I did stalk you.
Yeah, I know.
And it worked.
Listen, I
Dreams come true, guys.
this is what dreams are made of.
This is what dreams are made of. Are we going to karaoke in Atlanta? No, Jesse will probably like freaking just make us like
Stop.
look like fucking idiots because that theater kid in her is just gonna like come through and it's gonna be like,
Listen, bitch, I might not have the vocals, but I got the energy. I'll be in there. Right when you, that was just the voice of an angel, but I was about to be like, oh my God, is that Jessica Urban? Also, there was someone in the fucking comments calling me, what'd they say? Oh, the girl, the lady on the right. And
you?
Yeah, and
that's what Lily gets all the time.
No, Lily gets the other girl, and I sent it.
Oh, the other girl.
I'm pretty sure you were still asleep. Duh. Or no, because if you're awake, Lily isn't gonna wake up for like 2 more hours. But I may have just sent it to her. I don't know. But I also may have not even sent it and just had this conversation in my head. But it's like, oh, how about a sweet little collab between the other girl and the lady on the right? How come she's girl and I'm lady? What the heck?
That's what Rug Lady didn't like. Yeah, Rug Lady.
She didn't like lady. Hey, just so y'all know, we don't remember where we left off because our cameras cut out, and then we just had an impromptu meeting that we just forced our editors to be a part of, and we don't know what happened.
They could actually, there's a possibility that this part is not getting included because they just fucking signed off and they're just like, you know what? Actually, we're not going to listen further.
Oh, no, it was karaoke. Ha!
Oh, yes, it was karaoke. Okay, there we go. It was a positive. It was a positive note. Okay, yeah. So like, yes, Cece and Cher do things.
Cece and Cher,
that's where
Cece and Cher do so. Karaoke. So yeah, like vlogs and stuff. But then also, it's what a lot of podcasters will do on their Patreon. But I don't know. I love that idea of it. But then also the idea of like any crafts that we're doing because our bitches, we're crafting bitches.
Yes. We are crafty bitches.
Yes, we are. Girl, I have 3 tubs of air dry clay to try to make the gargoyles that go above the Here Lies Beetlegeist tombstone. Yeah, it's a lot, I know. So listen, our community's been through a lot.
Wait to see it.
We need this.
Yeah.
This is my Halloween wig, by the way. So yeah, it's a lot, but we could like include stuff like that, and then whenever we get together, and then obviously by the time we have a Patreon, I assume that, you know, every other like quarter we would be getting together, like every other 2 months we would like trade off or travel or whatever. So yeah,
that's the plan. Yeah, so we'll be together often as we can until I move there, because that's the goal for Chelsea.
For me, girl, for you.
No, I know. I'm just
I'm
down with the tunnel system.
You're the one who's trying to sleep in the bed with me.
To be fair, when you were like, oh, the queen or the king, you just promptly answered the king bed will be great. And I was like, yeah, it'll be good. Oh, wait, we didn't talk though. I have to listen to but I can put my AirPod in, but I can't have like complete like silence. Is that a problem? I can have an earpod in.
Bold of you to think that I'm not bringing a sound machine with me.
Okay, perfect. All right. Love this, because then I can have my little, like, you know, it's been Desperate Housewives lately, and then I'll have that play. But I can put it in my ear. Yeah. But anyways, okay.
Hey,
so the next time
I can fall asleep with that. You're fine.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. This is where we leave you. And then in the next episode, we're going to be together. We're actually going to be filming together, and that's so exciting. And we're so excited, and we hope you're so excited.
We're going to try to do a bunch of reels together and content together, but then also at least 2 episodes together. Yeah.
We have them in the queue. We have some pretty juicy ones, actually, like some.
Listen, yes. So there's we're gonna do a sip and spill episode, which actually the moderator of our of our subreddit, who is amazing. She posted a thread, a post, whatever. I don't know how to Reddit. I do, but like I don't. She posted on there, and you can actually go to their, you know what? F it. I'll link it down below. And there's like real good questions on there so far. Like they spicy. Yeah. I have a bunch of them saved, and I'm going to print out like cards for us, like girl branded cards. Who am I? So I'm going to do that for us.
love it.
And we will do like, you know, interrogation style, and I will have, it's gonna be a lot. I don't want to get drunk, and I also can't ever shut up. So I will probably just be super honest the entire time, and then probably get myself in a lot of trouble, but it's fine.
I feel like I'm kind of the same. I'd rather just like admit it and talk about it, or, you know, like just answer as honestly as I can without like humiliating. Like I always think about my family over anything, right? Like my kids and stuff like that. So that's usually the only like barrier that I have. Otherwise, I'm just like, yeah, I'll talk about it.
Yeah, no, obviously that's like a hard limit. If someone was like, hey, what's your son's name? I'd be like, chill out. That's keep in mind, I'm the one printing out the cards, so I'm not gonna print out any that are like against our like hard boundaries that we went over before we started the podcast. Yeah. However, if it's about butt plugs or, you know, childhood trauma or anything like that, we're good. We're Gucci. We got it.
100%. All right. Well, next time we see, we'll be together. Hope everybody is, I was going to say has a good Halloween, but like we'll have one more episode before Halloween. So you do the outro because I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, that's true. However, it's also true for me.
Chelsea's bullying Sherilyn again.
Oh my God, right?
Well, that's
guys, they're not friends. Watch out. Come on. If you don't roast your friends or your partner, who are you?
You're not friends, yeah.
I'll text Tony right now and tell him. I don't know. Anyways, so we hope that you stay feral.
Stay spicy.
No. Nope. See, she messed it up already.
Damn the man. Save the empire.
You got that part right, but I say stay feral. You say damn the man, and then I say save the empire. We go back and forth.
Okay, sorry. Do it again.
Oh, you know what sucks is I've been using eyelash glue to glue my wigs on because it's so easy. And then when I take it, and it's easy to take it off, and when I take it off, it's all goopington on my hairline.
It looks really good. I was going to say, like, you whipped that on in like 30 seconds. I could never.
I did. Do you want me to bring one for you?
I want the brown one that I think you're committed to wearing, but I want to wear it. You should wear the blonde one that you posted the photo of you and Bean in because you look really good with that one.
Ugh, fine. I'll bring both of those. I'll bring the 2 new ones, okay?
Okay.
All right.
I'm so excited. Okay.
The worst. I need you to buy one of the wig caps though that I'm wearing right now, so I'll text you the link there.
Yeah,
so
you need to send that to me,
yeah. Okay, so anyways, so we hope you have a great day, night, weekend, whenever you're watching this. We appreciate you so much. We hope that you stay super feral.
Damn the man.
That was quite a delay, Sherilyn. And save the empire.
Damn the man! Save the empire!
Goodbye.
Bye.